Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Jeremy Franklin. This week, we'll speak with track and field coach Nate Hoey, as well as senior basketball captains Kirk Jones and Nadeau. But first, here's a look back at last weekend in Washington and Lee sports. The Generals captured their 19th Old Dominion Athletic Conference Women's Swimming Championship, winning this year's conference meet at Radford. Senior Lindsey Strachan won the 200 butterfly and 200 backstroke and was named ODAC Swimmer of the Year for the second straight season. WNL's Cammie Gardner was tabbed as Conference Coach of the Year, while first-year Lauren Stearns was selected as the Rookie of the Year. In men's swimming, the Generals finished third at the Bluegrass Mountain Conference Championships in Charlotte. WNL had several swimmers record NCAA B-Cut times with the Division III Championships scheduled for March. Senior Elizabeth Webb qualified for the NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships by setting a school record in the mile run at the Lafayette Ryder Winter Games in New York. Between the men's and women's teams, the Generals set 6 other school marks and had a total of 13 top 5 finishes at the meet. The women's basketball team fell 79-70 at Randolph-Macon on Saturday. First-year Becca Bolton totaled 22 points as all 5 WNL starters scored in double figures for the first time since the 2004-05 season. In men's basketball, the Generals lost a 67-66 nail-biter to Bridgewater in overtime at the Warner Center. A career-high 24 points from senior Ben Heller wasn't quite enough as the Eagles' Robert Rice hit a pair of free throws with 3.5 seconds left in the extra session. The WNL wrestling team finished the regular season with 3 Centennial Conference losses at the McDaniel Quad. The Generals fell 26-13 to Muhlenberg, 34-6 to Ursinus, and 25-12 to McDaniel. And in women's tennis, WNL opened up its spring season with a 6-3 loss to Division I Radford. Coming up next, I'll be joined by track and field coach Nate Hoey. I'm joined now by track and field coach Nate Hoey. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Good to be here.
It seems like every time we look this season, there's been another athlete who's qualified for the NCAA championship. So you've had Maggie Sutherland and Stacy Dornbos in the pentathlon, as well as Elizabeth Webb joining them this past weekend in the mile. A lot of school records have fallen and a lot of top 5 finishes. What does all that tell you about the success of your program?
The kids are doing a great job. We've had a great winter of training and fall kind of preceding that. And, like you said, this past weekend with Elizabeth Webb qualifying for nationals in the mile, and we broke 7 school records up in New York. So it was an outstanding meet, and they're really gearing up and getting ready for next weekend, our indoor championship meet.
The success that the women's program has had is, in a way, sort of overshadowed what the men's program has done. But how much has that team improved as well?
The guys' team has done very well. Last year, we finished third both indoors and outdoors at the conference meet, which is our highest finish in a very, very long time. And we're really poised to do that again. We might be able to slip in there for a second, but they're doing very well. The guys' team is extremely well-rounded, scoring points in the throws, the distance events, the sprints, the jumps. The guys just broke a 1993 4x4 school record this past weekend. We've been really close to that for the past 3 years, so it was exciting to see them finally get that one.
You've got the ODAC Indoor Championships coming up next weekend down at Liberty. Obviously, the big goal is to win a conference title, but what are the smaller goals? What can the Generals do to build up to perhaps an ODAC Indoor title?
What we talk about from day one is getting everybody to perform at their highest level at that one chance that we have at that conference meet. Physically, mentally, emotionally, be able to compete at that highest level on that day. Because even if you're the #1 seed going in, you got to do it again. It doesn't matter what you did, in January or early February. You have to do it on Friday night, February 27th. So that's what we steer everything towards, to get them ready to compete at their highest level. And if we can do that, they're going to be in a position to do really well as a team.
Looking forward, what can we expect from the Generals in the outdoor season this spring?
We're really excited with the new stadium and a track, kind of hosting some meets again. We're going to host the Outdoor Conference Championship meet on April 17th and 18th. And we're also teaming up with VMI to host what has turned out to be a really big, it's the VMI WNL Track and Field Carnival on March 27th and 28th. That we're co-hosting. Friday events will be here at WNL, Saturday events will be over there. We already have 19 teams committed to coming. We expect to have a handful more, before that comes around. So looking forward to that, having some home events on campus. And really, all the training that we do, we really steer towards outdoors. I think our team's more built for the outdoor events, and we're excited about what's to come with that.
Earlier, we were talking about Elizabeth Webb setting a school record and qualifying for the NCAA Indoor Championships at the Lafayette Ryder Winter Games up in New York this past weekend. But that probably wasn't the most exciting thing that happened. Tell us about what happened after the race with Elizabeth.
Right after she raced, she ran 5 minutes flat, which is an outstanding mile time on an indoor track. She set her school record, qualified for nationals. It was actually also an all-time ODAC record. she steps off the track, and I just happened to be there at that moment. And Vance Berry, her longtime boyfriend, was right there and had something in the works and actually proposed to her right there as she stepped off the track, not even 5 seconds after she finished the race, I think. And it was exciting. The announcer of the meet was right there. He said it's never happened at the Army. The Army's a very historic field house, and they were kind of there talking with them at the same time, so it was pretty unique for them to have that proposal right after her race.
Vance Berry, also a captain for your senior track and field, for your men's team, senior from Florida. We had him on the show last week. Just a terrific story. Well, Coach, we wish you luck at the Indoor Championships next week, and we thank you for joining us here.
Thanks a lot.
With me now is Kara Nadeau, senior basketball captain from Oak Hill, Virginia. Kara, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Kara, what does it mean to you to be a student athlete at Washington and Lee?
To me, being a student athlete at WNL has just been a really great part of the whole college experience. I think coming into college, I wasn't positive that I wanted to play sports, but looking back kind of at the last 4 years, I couldn't picture my college experience any other way. Having played basketball, going here, and having a lot of other opportunities in addition to basketball, I think has just made my college experience really great.
Who has been the most influential person during your time here at Washington and Lee?
I think it's kind of hard to pinpoint just one person. I think Coach King has definitely had a really big influence on my college career. I've probably known her the longest out of anyone here, and she's always really just been supportive of me, and her door's been open like 24/7. She's given me advice and just really been someone that I feel like I can always go to talk to, and she's just been like a great person to have, I think, through these 4 years.
This year has been one of the most successful offensive seasons in Washington and Lee history, but the last few weeks you've really won games with your defense. What makes you and the Generals so successful at that end of the floor?
I think we kind of realized that defense was going to be the most important thing if we wanted to win a championship, and we really, I think as the season has gone on, have begun to communicate a lot more on defense and kind of play in sync with each other, and our rebounding's really improved, and I think knowing that defense is going to transition us into our offense has been a really good motivator for everyone to play so hard on defense.
As a senior, how do you approach the ODAC tournament next week, knowing that every time you take the floor, it could be your last as a General?
Right now, I don't think I'm really thinking of it as the last time I take the floor. I think each game going into the ODAC tournament will be kind of focused on just playing that game and playing as hard as I can. And I'm sure, after the season's over, I'll have plenty of time to kind of look back on the season. But right now, just focused on going in one game at a time and playing the best that we can.
Well, Kara, we thank you for joining us here, and we wish you luck next week.
Thanks a lot.
Joined now by Kirk Jones, senior basketball captain from Maple Glen, Pennsylvania. Kirk, we welcome you to the show.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Kirk, you and the 5 other seniors on this year's roster committed to Washington and Lee while the team was undergoing a 2-23 season. What about this school and the basketball program here inspired you to make that decision?
Well, I was definitely first attracted to the history and academic reputation of WNL. And then in the fall of my senior year, I had the opportunity to come down here for the first time. And I had a great visit. I stayed with Greg Benneman, senior captain from last year. He was a great host. I thought I got along great with the guys on the team. And I had the opportunity to sit down with Coach Hutchinson, and he really got the message across to me that losing wasn't something that was going to be accepted here. And that if I came, my class would have the opportunity to be a part of turning this program around. And that was something that was very attractive to me.
Did you ever anticipate the kind of success in terms of the win-loss record that you would have had the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, despite our history of losing seasons, I'd say we definitely anticipated it. We expected to be successful, and we kind of taught ourselves we weren't going to expect anything less. And that came from all our hard work that we put in every day in practice and in the off season, and really competing against one another. And to put all that in and not be successful, I think wouldn't have been worth it. So.
What is the most important lesson that you've learned from playing a Division III sport?
Well, we definitely don't get all the luxuries that big-time D1 athletes get, but I think that has its benefits as well. We're I've heard the saying, and I think I agree with it, that we're students who happen to play basketball and not basketball players who happen to go to school. And you really get to hone or understand how to balance your time and manage your day. And you have to go in, give it your all in practice, and then go do well in class and get your work done. And I think being able to do that has really helped me and will help me moving forward, as well as just being part of a team and really being part of something bigger than yourself and learning how to that success comes not just from what you do, but from everyone working together.
The Generals started the season 12-4, but you've since slipped to 13-10. What will it take on the court for Washington and Lee to turn things back around going into next week's ODAC tournament?
Yeah, well, we started out very strong, and we were getting votes for the top 25, and then we've had a little slip up in the past couple weeks. But I mean, we've really looked at what went on in those games, and I think we've tried to learn from it and get better any way we can moving forward. At the same time, we're looking towards the future, and we have a big game tomorrow night against Roanoke, and then we finish up our regular season Saturday at Eastern Mennonite, or home against Eastern Mennonite. And they're two very big games. We understand that, and they're very helpful. It'll be helpful for us to win those in terms of our seeding for the ODAC tournament. So right now, Coach Hudson likes to say it's not about the X and O's, but more about who wants it out in the court. And I agree with that statement. And if it's true, I think our team has a great chance of finishing out the season well. And heading into the ODAC tournament, I think it's wide open. We have as much a chance, if not better, than anyone, I think, in the ODAC of winning it. And I'm pretty confident in our chances heading into the tournament.
Well, Kirk, we thank you for joining us here, and we wish you luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
The baseball team opens its 2009 campaign this week in a tournament in Phoenix. Action begins Thursday with games against Whitworth and Hastings. Women's basketball wraps up the regular season this weekend, visiting first-place Roanoke on Friday and hosting defending ODAC champion Bridgewater at 4:30 on Saturday. That's the second game of the basketball doubleheader at the Warner Center, which will begin with the men's regular season finale against Eastern Mennonite at 2. Also on Saturday, wrestling competes at the Centennial Conference Championships at McDaniel, riding travels to the Hollins Invitational, and women's lacrosse opens its season at home against South Region rival St. Mary's at 2. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.